My man, my man, my man, my man. Movement transcends borders. So we launched Outpost this year. Shout out to Cody, shout out to Morgan and everybody. Yeah, give it up for everybody in San Francisco. We had folks build a set of teams from their own communities, work back with us on creating their own TSP experience from other places than LA. And we couldn't do that without these community builders, these organizers. And I was talking to Rory, who's not here, who was one of the co-leads in San Diego. He's like, everybody I talk to wants to run LALV. I've got to convince them that this thing that I'm throwing at them is the same. And so it requires a lot of trust, it requires a lot of planning, and so thank you. Again, it continues to dimensionalize this experience in a really important way. From a solo standpoint, if you were a solo athlete this year, can we hear you? Let's give it up. Let's give it up for the solo athletes. We had 30 solo athletes this year, a big field. So much respect for all the solo athletes that made it to the start line. I also want to give a shout out to Malcolm and Tilly, who's not here, for bringing back the Radical Equity Program. Yeah. Which is a commitment to bring equity to the start line. We aim to have 50% women and non-binary folks and 50% men for our start lines and our solo fields. We were close there, still some work to do. We're going to push and push, but thank you everybody who showed up to the start line, who felt that support and made it off and headed to Vegas. So we have had 15 solo finishers so far. We still got 8 out there pushing hard. We're sending them a lot of love. And I continue to be just amazed by what solo runners are doing by running anywhere from 280 to 340 miles. Malcolm wants me to be very clear that some of these solo athletes are running the OG route and running 340 miles. I think Mitchie is still out there, is that right? Give it up for Mitchie. And give it up for Tommy Runs, who is in the building, who ran the solo OG route last year. So I just want to hit on those things, and then the other thing I want to mention before we get into a couple things from this year is we have a core team at TSP that works year-round, but when we have an experience like this, it pops up, and there's so many other people who contribute or without their support capacity, volunteering, help, there's no way we could do 10% of what we do. So I just want to take a minute and shout out a few people who have helped us over the course of the last few weeks make this experience happen. If you know them, give them some love. Shonda, Nancy, Yuriza, Jacqueline, Lauren, Carol, Carolina, Britt, Sherilyn, Marilyn, Courtney, Maria, Art, Nikki, William, Oliver, Henry, Bianca, Richard, AV, Christine, Gracie, Samina, Tiffany, Jericho, Christine, Ariel, Katie, Drew, Gordon, Ross, Malcolm, Tim, Faith, Nella, Peter, Christian, Tay, Kelsey, Geneva, Kevin, Lucy, Jess, Ant, Jimmy, Dot, Brendan, Matt, Soren, Kieran, Christian, Madeline, Q, Sarah, Nash, Melina, Andres, Aristo, Aaron, Bali, Don, Jason, Rob, Z, Colin, Carter, Carlos, Kai, Adam, Tommy, Alex, Sydney, Isa, Eric, Picos, Rory, Cody, Morgan, Imo, Tom, Scott, Jesse, Jarek, Gabby, Mimi, Ricky, Nils. Please give it up for our team. Okay, so it was a super historic year for TSP LALV. Like I said, we launched Outposts. We had folks running from all different places, all different routes as usual. And this year, for the first time in many years, we had records broken in every single competitive category that we have. So on the screen, we'll have a graphic. You can't see that right now, but you can pretend it's here. For our solo men, Biel is here. Biel broke the previous standing record, which was 75 hours. He finished in 67:15, which is absurd. We had Imo break the solo women's record, which was previously 82:41. She ran it in 77:54. We had the Portland Bureau of Running, AKA PBR, I believe. Previous record was 28:10. They ran it in 28:03. Give it up for PBR, breaking that record. And then our women's team, Project Stella, our previous record was 33:13. They knocked that down by a couple hours, came in at 30:19 this morning. We give it up for Project Stella. So I believe that we have all of these record-setting athletes and teams in the building. I would like to ask each of them to come up for just a couple quick questions so we can learn a little bit more about what their experience was. We'll start with Imo right here, if that's okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome to Superlive. So nice to see you. Appreciate you being here. Also know that we're hungry, so we're going to make it fast. Don't worry. My first question for you is, this is your first race that you've run in the States.
Yeah.
You have a very heavy pedigree of running in the UK and Europe. I mean, world records, incredible accomplishments. How was this race different than your previous race experiences?
How was it different? In many ways. I think, firstly, I went into this race with zero pressure and just to have fun. I think in Europe, I know Europe better, whereas the US, I didn't know at all. So it was just about like zero expectations, explore it, have fun, try a new culture as such, like new food, new environment. I didn't know, I kind of obviously had loads about TSB, but didn't know particularly how it worked. I did all the planning myself, which was so fun. Like I think doing the route myself, timings myself was completely different. The community and the vibe here is epic, and it's like, it's not competitive as such. Like I think that it's competitive, but I think there was no, it was a different vibe. It wasn't so kind of, the whole beauty of ultra running is the community, and I think that is just what this showcase is. So yeah, that was a big thing as well.
Quick follow-up. Did you feel a sense of competition being out there because you were between Biel and Johnny for most of the first 36 hours or so? Were you running your own race? Were you feeling pushed by either of them?
Slightly. I didn't intend to. In fact, this race I had zero like intention for any like time goal. But when I did realize that Biel and Johnny were close, I was yeah, definitely. When we saw Biel's footsteps on the first power line, I was like, he's close. Yeah, so there was an element for sure.
That's nice. It sounds like it was a healthy competition.
Yeah.
I got one more question, and then if there's one question from the room, we can add that afterwards. Mine for you is there one thing that you're taking away from this experience? You know, you've had a couple days to process. Curious when you leave Vegas, what you're taking with you?
That I'm capable of it all over again. I think I had a pretty tough year last year of running. I put a lot of pressure on myself competitively, and like one bad year does not mean you're a bad runner. And I think I got into that mindset last year, and I just needed this boost just to prove to myself that I can. I think, like, not to sound too cringe, but like we all can. Like, we're all here, we've all achieved it. So yeah, I can do hard things.
Absolutely. We got room for one quick question if we want anything. Tommy.
When I talked to you back in LA, you said that one of the things you wanted to discover during this race was like your joy for running again. And what mile did you find that at?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The question is, what kilometer did you find your joy for running back again?
I loved the first 160 kilometers, 100 miles. And to be honest, I actually loved, I think throughout the whole thing, I loved the whole thing. There were some seriously dark moments. It was the first time I've had sleep deprivation. I had like 4 hours sleep in the whole thing. And the first time I've hallucinated, and they were pretty dark moments. But all in all, I did love it. So I found my love from the start, I think, just getting back on the start line.
Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations. Imo Boddy, everybody. That's the exact right amount of air horn. Next up, keeping it going, I think Biel is in the room as well. I'm going to ask him to make his way up on the couch, if that's okay. I think he may want to bring some friends. You want to bring some friends? Friends, come on down. It's up to you.
Come on.
Okay, here we go. So
Javi? Javi, where are you? Ow, ow.
Javi's going to fly in.
Come on in.
Javi, you're welcome to come in whenever you'd like. Great. He's on the way. Here he comes. So, this is great. This is cozy. It's just like in the camper van. So I think a quick question that maybe a couple of y'all could answer is, you broke this record by a significant amount. I'm wondering, was there a key thing that felt like it was the way that you were able to unlock the way that you ran this from a training, from a preparation standpoint? And I think crew as well, it's like hearing, I mean, it's like Imo, Biel, like not sleeping at all. I can imagine your crews don't sleep. Like whatever they thought their experience was going to be, it's up in the air because they're constantly in motion. So just curious from the four of you, what were the key things that y'all did to prepare and get yourself ready for the race?
I think there were a few things, but sleep deprivation is for sure one thing. There was very little sleep in this experience. I would say I slept between 2 hours and 30, 3 hours at the most.
Total?
Total, yeah. So this was one thing. And also almost no stops besides some solid food, but this will take just a few minutes and go. You want to add something else?
Yeah, maybe two more things. One is when we were assigned with the task of helping this guy, we also reached out to. I mean, if there's something why I love TSP is because of the community. No, you said it, and that's because you can, without question, find someone on Instagram or get someone's number that have done this before, and will help you do what you have to do, even if that means beating what they already did. So we had conversations with Aaron, we had conversations with other people to so that they could share the knowledge of what they had already done, and so we were given a lot of insights on route, on how to optimize for the best, most shortest route here. So doing a lot of that research and conversations and sharing the knowledge and supporting us between as a community, that was key and very valuable. And then we had also some we created our own little like dashboard control where we had a really tight control of how Biel was doing against the record, so that we could or push him or not.
You gamify the pain.
Yeah, we gamify the pain. Yeah.
Smart.
The only thing else I have to add is like nutrition. We had a schedule. We had a very strict schedule of when we're going to introduce nutrition and do things like that to make sure he had everything he needed to perform the way we knew he could. Get those barriers out the way, like not have him think about anything. And, him setting the tone of no sleeping, the fact that he embodied it with no complaints, we had no reason to complain. We just executed the schedule because our plan was to break the record, and we beat our own plan.
I just want to add that being as a photographer and filmmaker in like the small crew, it was also kind of changing for me because we are like one like small machine, like we always said, like 4 guys in a tiny car and 1 runner, but we had like every from like our team has like a specific role, but it wasn't only like focusing on one thing. Like I was taking photo of him, but also cleaning the RV. The guys were like taking care of food and also like check the stats, check the map, driving, and it was like a kind of rodeo and rotation, but it was like really cool experience, like because we bring you to LA, Las Vegas.
Yeah. Cool. Again, one more question for you, and then if there's something from the room, we can grab that. Bill, I think in talking to you before, there's this blend of running and how it mixes with your creativity as an artist, and it feels like you attack those things in such a way to try to learn and discover something about yourself. And I'm wondering if there's anything that you discovered about yourself over the last week.
That I can go beyond my limits, that I can find the edge, ignore, and continue running.
Yeah.
That I found out it's a powerful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Any questions from the room for anybody?
What inspires you to do this?
What inspires you to do this?
I don't know, it's something that I like love doing it, and I don't feel that I need so much inspiration to go. For me, it's just like I just go, something that I do. I don't know how to explain. It's something really that I do. I don't need like some extra, like super, I don't know, be motivated to go. It's something like I love doing it, so I just do.
Congratulations. Very incredible performance. One more time, everybody, for Biel Crew.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cool. Appreciate it. Thank you. We're gonna have the next team jump in a minute. So cool. Thank y'all. Keep it going for Biel Crew. Keep it going for Biel Crew. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm going to bring Project Stella up next. If we can give it up for them, our new women's team record holders. They're coming in. They're coming in. We got 7 people maybe. We got our captain, our coach, and we got our 6 runners. Come on in, come on in. This is Project Stella. Got their medals on. Welcome in, welcome in. I think so, here. Yeah, we can make it happen. Cool. Here. Is that right? Here. Here, we got it. Here, you just want to say here? You sure? That's very kind of you. Okay. Here, we're gonna share mics one down here. So Project Stella, we had a chance to talk a little bit at the finish right after you arrived. Again, congratulations. I believe 3rd overall this year, first place women's team, shattered the existing record. Building off what Mao said, and this community having a lot of knowledge, and I think y'all we were in conversation about how there's a level of lore with LALV, and there's not a lot that's public facing, but you can find information. And as I recall, all 6 of the runners, it was your first TSP experience, right? So can you talk a little bit about how you gathered the information around the route, the experience? Like if someone else was brand new and coming in, where would they find info?
Yeah, we pulled on our partners that we knew had done it before, and from the very beginning, I reached out to someone that I knew had the most amount of information of anyone that I'm personally connected with, and I think just using those tools as a way to guide your own path, and we were very, very specific with the crew that we had, and really making sure that everyone was strategic, because that strategy was very helpful in making sure that everyone was able to cooperate really well. And I think as a women's team too, just watching the girls really trust us as crew, and then us trusting them to do the work was a really beautiful part of creating something that we knew would work for them.
Yeah, and it did seem to work super well. I was going to ask, we learned in talking to you at the finish that many or all of you run at a very high level in more organized running spaces, and that the Speed Project is a different type of running experience. And I'm wondering if running this, that removes the guardrails and also requires you to develop your own strategies and shift things that may normally be controlled and given to you. I know it's early, but did that open anything up for you with your relationship to running? Is there any kind of epiphany?
Yeah, most of us have a background in like running and like collegiate running and road racing, and even a lot of us are still new to the marathon. So this is like kind of a total change in pace for us, and trusting in the crew and having like sitting through meetings, them explaining like how much vert we have to go up, what the terrain is, and just like trusting that this is a race that we can do. Them kind of pushing us, like telling us we can do it. But after like mile 100, I think we kind of got the feeling like we can do this shit. Like it's definitely doable. Like it's a whole lot harder than the roads, I'll tell you that. But it was awesome.
Yeah, that makes me think of one thing I want to share. Again, if there's a question for Project Stella, we'll grab that in a minute. But while we think of that, I also learned that one team member joined this week, and one team member joined in the last couple weeks. So this is like a fresh team that came together.
We joined together like 5 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole team came together 5 days ago.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wild. That is wild. That is wild. Any questions for Project Stella? We got time for one question for Project Stella in the room. Anybody got anything? Anybody? Mao. Kevin. Give it up for Kevin.
We all know Kevin.
Awesome. Well, congratulations so much. Appreciate y'all taking a minute to talk to us. Really incredible work, and yeah, you've put something on the board that's going to be really hard to match. So thank y'all so much. Congratulations. Give it up for Project Stella, everybody. Thank you. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. And last but certainly not least, I would like to ask the members of PBR, the Portland Bureau of Running, to jump up and or to meander safely over as we come in. Thank you, Imo, for all the walk-on music. It's great. Kidding. Okay, we got room?
It's in one lane.
Okay, if she's here, she can come right on in. It's a hot set, but it's all good. All right, here, I'm gonna throw this down so we can share. So, for those of you who may not know, I think that maybe people, thank you, that's perfect. So I think that people do know, but you came to LAOV last year, finished 3rd overall, came back this year. I heard you were kind of angry. Yes, you're angry. I'm wondering, why did it feel important to come back and feel so angry?
I would not say it was out of anger, but more of just the competitive spirit in nature. Last year we kind of came in not knowing what we were getting ourselves into, and overly confident for sure. Showed up at the safety meeting, kind of proclaimed like, "Hey, we're here to win," and we sit down, and all of a sudden, Daddy Braddy's, who's won like 3 or 4 of these things, stands up right after us and is like, "Yeah, sure, you're gonna win." So, getting 3rd last year, coming back, we're like, okay, number 1 goal, win. And if we have a good day, we think the record is within reach. We were not planning on the 40-mile-per-hour gusts.
Yeah.
So that kind of threw a wrench in the plan, but everyone stayed pretty strong. Everyone kept their head down and just kept moving forward. So now we're here.
Yeah. I was going to ask, what did you change between last year and this year that felt like it was able to allow you to unlock this time?
I mean, one of the hugest things was having the correct cars. We were just on Powerline last time. It was like a nightmare. We were bottoming out every 30 seconds and just looking over, just pure adrenaline, like, we're going to fall off this ravine. We're not going to make it. We didn't know what was happening, and we'd not seen the course before, so that was big. And then Tate ran this year and just dominated. So that was huge. Yeah.
Anything else that you changed? Just curious.
I feel like a lot of people said that you couldn't win unless you went Powerline. And we definitely took that into account this year. However, we did not go with that, and we stuck to the plan that these two created last year and just modified a few things to try to make it as quick as possible. And I think it's pretty cool in the sense that we actually didn't have to change that much. We just took our experience from the year before and just came out and absolutely crushed it. So.
Yeah, congratulations, y'all. Really, really impressive. We have time for a question for PBR. There's a film that also came out that we launched with you all last year, Dogs Without a Leash. That's available on YouTube, on Make Running's YouTube, so check that out if you want to learn a little bit more about PBR's experience last year. Any questions from the room for PBR before we let them go? Anybody got anything? Sir, you right here, anything?
Any good stories, I guess, from this year? Last year, maybe we had some good ones, but I know we had a new RV this year, which was nice, but a little sad for some of us.
Oh, we did. We did have a new crew member this year, Kangaroo. Not an actual kangaroo. It's a dog named Kangaroo. So that really kept spirits up this year. We had a real RV this year. We had a real RV last year, but it was Craig's house, and there wasn't much space for the rest of us. So we actually had a bed this year and got to relax. But yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Matt Parker. He was our team captain this year.
And he made the documentary.
Matt made our documentary last year, and then going into this year, we shifted things around with a few crew members, with a few racers, and Matt took on the lead role as team captain. So it paid off.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. We for the very first time on our side had a host reporter out following that route. Shout out to Peter Bromka, who is one of the first people who actually took teams that deviated from the OG route and I think unlocked a lot of the scheming and power line. But Peter was out. He loves running. He loves like analyzing the route and athletes. But it was so helpful to have him out relaying back to us what was going on, because usually we're in Death Valley and it's like, PBR is 15 miles from the finish, and we like have to rush up there and we don't know what happened. So I think for us, it's the first time we've ever had somewhat of a ride-along experience with what you all were doing. And he just was like, PBR is ripping, like it's unbelievable. The winds are in their face. They're going for the record. So it was nice for us to be able to follow along for the first time. So congratulations, PBR. Give it up. 28:03 is the record. Congratulations, congratulations.
How fast are you thinking you could run it?
Oh, how much faster?
We're not doing this again.
All right, y'all. I'm going to do one last thing before we wrap. We're almost at time, but we have Tommy Runs, who joined us this year as a host, and we have Jarek Walker, everybody's favorite human in the entire universe. I'd love to have them come over for just a minute. This is Jarek Walker. Yarek Walker is the Mojave Desert Postal Service courier. Two different personas. I don't know who you may have interacted with, but I just want to check in because both of you have had so many different TSPs in different ways. The three of us were in different spaces all week long. Maybe just share what's a reflection from this year. How does it feel different, or what sticks out to you?
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely, I think the amount of people that were out there, I think was absolutely electric. It was, I mean, it was like overwhelming, but not. I was like, this feels right, you know? It felt like a hug from multiple people all at once.
Consensual.
Yeah, a consensual hug, thank you. hey, somebody. And then, I think the other piece of it was, I spent most of the time as my alter ego, Yarek, and delivering mail this year. And I think one of the things that was cool, and I think something that's always been special for me with TSP, is I have this weird thing of like wanting to catch the tears, because I know they happen, right? And I think through what some of the work that I got to do today, I know oftentimes so many people make so many sacrifices to come to TSP, whether it's stuff with family, financially, work, whatever it is. And it was really cool to see how people's sacrifices were called out specifically in a lot of these letters, and it broke people down to tears. To one, just be, I guess, being seen by their family members or loved ones that weren't there. So surprised that, oh wow, this person wrote me, and I think for me that was something that was really, really special, and I'm still like taking it all in. I've had a couple of near misses in terms of tears, but I kept it together probably because it was just so dry outside.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
No one's mentioned yet that the difference is that Tommy Runs is a part of the team this year, so that's why it's so much better.
It's true.
Okay. Two things. It was a very unique experience for me. I mean, given like the way that I kind of have to live like my life in my small career, everything's kind of me centered and focused. And to be able to do solo last year and have it be such a life-changing experience for me, because I had no ultra experience before this last year's TSP, and being able to come back and be a part of this team and see why the race was so magical for me, not just the distance, but also how you all put this thing together and how you all share it and make the whole world kind of pay attention to this one moment. It was really special to be on the inside of that and be really focused on all of you. I mean, I had so many different chances to have conversations in LA and along the path. I shared some miles with Gregory there. And it was just one of those moments where you really realize that true community doesn't have to be, you don't have to talk about it too much, because it's literally how it's run. And being a part of it and I'll walk away from this with different experience than running 340 miles. I'd much rather not.
Yeah.
But I walk away from this feeling like a better person and feeling like I had something to do with such an amazing experience for all of us together. And hanging out with Yerrick was cool too.
Yeah, he said the same thing.
Yeah. Jesus.
Well, I appreciate it, Tommy. It was so nice to have you, and save the dates for 27.
You heard that here.
Love it, love it. Also want to give a special shout out and a lot of love to Faith, who was also a host out. She and Nella and Tam were driving Powerline later in the day, may still be out talking to people. Yeah, giving love to teams out there. So we miss them. I saw that their truck had their astrological signs on the side in the blue tape, and so I like them taking that energy out to the desert. So this has been Superlive, the final episode for 2026. Thank you all so much for joining us. Give it up for yourselves one more time. And that's it. We're wrapped on Superlive 2026. Imo, you can turn the track up. Here we go, here we go. And everybody can resume the party. Thank you all for joining. Thank y'all, thank y'all.